everyone. Welcome back. Charm City Beat is back after our long off season where we just don't make videos as often. But we are back for Ravens preseason, and we are going to talk about a plethora of things going on. Right out the gates, let's talk about J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Making a lot of noise.
Yeah, he's not playing right now. He's on the unable to perform. He's unable to play right now. He's on the injury list.
Mhm.
But I think he was holding out all spring. So I don't think he'd probably be playing right now, even if he was healthy. I think that's some of the speculation because he thinks he wants to get paid.
Yeah.
But he still has another year left on his deal. He's been injured a ton. So like, do the Ravens want to even pay him if he was? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think he's got any leverage here in this case. And
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens with him going forward because he doesn't have much of a leg to stand on. And
Nope.
I don't know if the Ravens are going to even give him what he wants because we probably have the second or third best backup running back in football in Gus Edwards. I mean, there's only a few teams that has a number two as good as Gus. And honestly, he might be the best backup running back because we haven't seen Gus Edwards play a full season with as number one back. And if that happens, he could easily get 1,000 yards in this offense.
Yeah. 100%. So there was an article that came out that when I was writing, the notes for this episode, and believe it or not, I think it's from a Steelers website or something. MSM reposted it. I don't know, but they were talking about how Ravens have a lead player hinting at malpractice within the organization. Now, as Jordan said, disgruntled as hell. JK has been apparently. He liked the tweet that blamed his season-ending injury in 2021 on malpractice. Is there any weight to that, Jordan?
Um, I mean, I feel like not. I mean, I personally, maybe there's a small piece, but I don't think there is because if it's the fact that he played in that final preseason game
Mm-hmm.
and got hurt in that game, I don't buy it because there was a ton of starters in that football game. I remember the defense coming out and all the starters playing. I think it was understood that the most of the offense and defense were going to get. I can't remember if Lamar Jackson was going to play. I was actually trying to look it up for a second, but if Lamar Jackson was playing in that game and if he was going to toss the ball to him, but if not, like I still think like Mark Andrews was on the football field. I still think half the offensive line was on the football field. Like I don't think that he was like they were targeting him on purpose. I don't understand that mindset. He was a
Yeah,
guy that needed reps, that was young on a team that you know needed warm bodies, and it was literally just the first drive of the game. So the fact that he got hurt, that's just football. I mean, it happens all the time.
yeah,
It's why you don't see a lot of guys playing preseason anymore because these injuries keep happening. I don't think malpractice. I wouldn't rule that.
yeah.
No,
Ross.
I mean, I remember they had the Ravens wired on that game. Hardball straight. I just wanted to get all the guys out there for one drive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't help that it also happened on a field that is notorious
Yeah,
for injuries. He's not the first ACL to get torn on that horrible field. Unless they fix it, won't be the last.
yeah. That's the scary part. I mean, yeah. Sorry.
No,
No, I was gonna say like I think he even in that one got like crushed by two dudes, which happens. But this is the same week where Marcus Peters went down with a knee injury. Gus Edwards went down with a knee injury. Like line up with the number of effing injuries this team had that year. I think we had like 30 some dudes on IL. Like there's no malpractice here. That's just
It just
bad luck, bad field, maybe bad trainer, all combined. I mean, Christ. Sorry.
no, I love it. No, and I'm again, this is whatever weight is on it. I mean, I don't think there's malpractice. I do think we had a shit trainer. I will say that I agree with that sentiment. But I don't think it was like, nope, this guy is the guy we're going after. It's fuck his knee, like it's over. No, I don't think that at all. I think that injuries happen. These injuries aren't easy to bounce back from, and shit honestly just happens. And now here we are where he wants to get his contract extended, and he has to change the narrative because, again, before the show, we were talking about Dalvin Cook's still a free agent, ladies and gentlemen. And if he's not getting paid, who are you going to pay?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Go,
Ross.
go, go, go.
Yeah, I think at the disparity in the running back market right now, I think this is just honestly a Hail Mary, if anything, JK just hinting at this stuff, just again to change that narrative.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Ravens, they deliberately went out and they signed Melvin Gordon at running back. And I think it just shows where they're sitting on this stance. And it is that he's a backup. So ultimately, that's what they don't need much more than that. I don't think they really need Dobbins. They need a luxury. And I think that's true for every team in the NFL. There's always a Melvin Gordon out there that can probably hand the ball off to 20 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
And in a pass offense, in a passing league, it's all you need is just a threat of a running back. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the Super Bowl teams have had great running backs over the last few years. They're not really. It's just been really high octane offenses. And if you get that's the Bills, I mean, I can't even tell you the name of the Chiefs running back. Like, it's just
Yeah.
if they don't you don't need them. Like I think the Eagles just ran the quarterback every time they got in short yardage. Like I think the NFL needs to reevaluate its rules if it wants to put the running back into the game. I mean, Dobbins was a second round pick because of those rules. I think he would have easily been a top 10 pick if he was in the NFL 10 years ago. I think because he's that good. But I think that's it's just the way the league is. I mean, you can find a good running back late in the round, and you don't need to be wasting money on guys. And it's honestly a crapshoot who ends up being good half the damn time.
Exactly. Ross?
I mean, the year he got hurt, how many running backs did we pick up?
Jesus
and we
Christ,
still had a top rushing offense.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the worst thing Dobbins is doing is he's doing it a place like here with a Gus.
Yeah.
You can say the same thing happened in Dallas with Zeke. He did it there where they had someone also already.
Pollard.
And we all, in our situation, we already paid Gus.
Yeah.
Dallas had to decide who they wanted to pay. We already have Gus paid. He's here and he's playing. He's being used in passing games at practice. As Jordan said, he can be I'm fine with him as a one.
100%. I would go out and buy his jersey tomorrow, for real. I mean, the NFL, there's no secret about it. It's changing. The NFL is 100% changing where we don't need the running backs to run because shit, half the teams have a versatile mobile quarterback. You know, I mean, just look at, again, the Bills, the greatest example, Josh Allen, who is a decent running quarterback. Lamar Jackson, probably the best in the league at what he does. Even Pat Mahomes, I've seen him get busy when he has to. You know, and again, if you're not willing to catch passes, if you're just a regular, you know, downhill running back, I don't think that's sustainable in this NFL, and they're not going to pay for anything less.
And you're not seeing teams like the Chargers paying Eckler when I think, I mean, it just kind of shows you what they value these guys. Like, you give me 2, 3, 4 years when you're a rookie contract. Thank you. We'll find someone else to fill your spot because no one knows who Eckler was when he came into the league. Like, the Steelers drafted Najee Harris, and everyone was like, why the hell would you do that? Like, that's a waste of a draft pick because you probably could have got him the next round. And even if you didn't, I mean, the odds of you getting the next Derrick Henry are stupid low. And even Derrick Henry's probably not getting paid again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a freak of nature, but there's no one really like him. I don't, and you can see how the Titans can never get past the divisional round. So I mean, that's the issue there too. I mean, how far can a running back take you unless you have a really good cast around them? And to do that, you got to pay those guys. You can't pay the running back, and it's a robbing Peter to pay Paul type of thing.
There's one running back and one running back alone that will I pay that has been paid CMC because he can do both.
Yep.
Consistently, he does. He can take a game over. Same game, he can be the leading receiver and rusher. That is why he has been paid. It works for him.
Yeah.
That's kind of why he's sort of like, yeah, it should, but I got my money. I'm kind of just there.
Sorry.
That's why another thing people pointed out, maybe they could change it where instead of the standard, you're a 4-year rookie deal. Maybe running backs get a 2-year standard rookie deal so they have a chance to get paid. Because it's like, so we don't need them, but when we use them, we beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, I wouldn't have paid CMC. It's why I don't draft CMC high in leagues because it's even going to be there in fantasy, let alone in real life. Like, I mean, it made sense for the 49ers when they were making a run to take a flyer on him, but you can't give the man 30, all his money because he's one twisted ankle away from not, 4 days. Oh, he's getting hit every 25 seconds. It's just not good business.
Yeah. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Ross's network connection unfortunately didn't hold up, but the show must go on. So, talking about just offenses virtually revitalizing and revolutionizing, just trying different things, being more pass heavy, moving away from running backs. The Baltimore Ravens, the biggest example of that. Obviously hired Todd Monken and, essentially giving him the keys to the Lamborghini, essentially allowing him to call plays at the line, make audibles. And the Ravens did essentially what they said they were going to do, and that was rebuild that wide receiver room. I mean, you have OBJ, one of the biggest signings to the Baltimore Ravens. Exciting. Everybody's
maybe ever.
Everybody's hyped about this. And again, I was skeptical at first, but from what I've been seeing in training camp, pretty stoked on it. Nelson Aguilar, he's been proving himself in offseason. Again, this is probably more of a second chance situation for him. So he's trying to make the best of it. And then you have Zay, little Zay, fresh first round pick wide receiver who
I heard he's been killing it.
Yeah.
He's been beating one-on-ones. He's been smoking starters.
Let's go. I love it. You love to hear it. I didn't get to go to the stadium practice because it was like 120 degrees and I had to work. And
he was in practice that game anyway.
Oh, that's true. He didn't. Wow. So, new wide receivers, Lamar has, essentially he's been giving a new lease on life here, a new contract. Is it a do or die season for the Ravens? Is it safe to, are we at that point, or is it just like, hey, we're just going to see what happens?
I think it's year one of many. I think the window is back open. OBJ is probably here for 1 year, maybe two. But I think they drafted some young wide receivers the last few years. You've got Andrews locked up for a long time. The offensive line is, I think, top 5 in the NFL. It's not really going anywhere. And Lamar Jackson's on a long-term deal. So I think the offense is just getting started. And I heard Monken call it a white-hot offense. 4 wide receivers have the time to mirror what he did in Louisville, which is just like the run and the gun and just tossing the ball all over the football field. You've got 2, 3. They've had the best tight end room in football between Likely and Andrews. And then you've got a bunch of wide receivers all hungry for the ball. And OBJ, like you said, I think is having one of his best camps in recent memory. And he's balled in. He's rehabbed from an injury. I think he's more mature somehow. And he's just ready to go about his business and be a man in a room full of boys. I think absolutely massive for Lamar Jackson, who I think has the financial backing of his organization. Yes. And he has the keys and the trust of this offense that his new offensive coordinator is giving him, which is the freedom to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants it. And if it means running the football, it means running the football, but he can also throw it, and he doesn't have to hand it off 25 times a game. I'm super excited about it because I think Lamar Jackson being able to do what he wants to do is what made him so dangerous in 2019.
100%. Ross?
Yeah, they're basically like, just get rid of that QB wristband. We ain't doing that. We don't do that here no more. We're not giving our fans a heart attack every play. Like, you're gonna snap it. You're gonna snap it. I think I heard they had the second most delay games. That's not gonna happen. I'll be surprised. We'll have a couple because it happens. But
yeah,
Lamar's gonna be audibling. I got to go to mini camp. All you could hear was Monken. If someone's walking, he's like, "Hey, how's it? Go, 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 go!" Lamar, he's audibling plays at the line of scrimmage. This is a mini camp. So.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait a minute, we didn't get tickets to training camp.
No, I got training camp. I was so fucking work.
No, I couldn't get.
Ironically, at that mini camp, I saw J.K. Dobbins in the weight room working out. He's holding in. Yeah. Melvin Gordon basically said that. I don't know if they came to him later in the locker room. Was like, hey, Melvin, we don't say that stuff here. Shut up.
Yeah,
we don't tell the media stuff here. What are you doing?
I am interested to see the usage of running backs. I think they shouldn't go away necessarily completely from it because they have such an established offense in that when it comes to that. And I do I do think that if they get a football lead in the game, late in the game, they're going to be able to still run the football down people's throats because they have that playbook in the back of their mind. And Lamar Jackson is still a great option, quarterback.
Yeah.
But I am curious to see if they do the thing where they give Dobbins more handoffs than I thought it last year was a chaos. Like, who the hell's running the football? Why did Dobbins not run it in the second half of games? Why did not hand it off to him at the end of the game in the playoffs? Like, I feel like just having a coordinator that just not is not stupid might just be the
Call it how
difference
it
between
is.
a Super Bowl and not making. Because I feel like last year we lost so many games down the stretch in the start of the season because they were just like they didn't play keep away up 20 points on the Dolphins. Like, what are you doing? This you got it's insane. So how they use the running back is a big question mark for me.
Yeah, no, it's going to be the hugest question mark. Another, you know, I don't see why we can't find balance. Again, the NFL, I know what it's all about. It's through the air, pass, 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 pass. Here's a trick play on the run. That I understand that's how it is, but again, like you said, we have the tools. I think the best way to keep the NFL guessing, I mean, essentially to make it and win, sorry, is to keep them guessing. That's going to be I think that's our best option because, again, we still have that infrastructure. I'm not saying we have to run the same fucking run plays every other quarter, every other play, but mix it in there. Keep them guessing.
Yeah, and allowing Lamar Jackson to run the football a little bit, just giving him a couple sneaks a game keeps the defenses honest. And then when the play breaks down, I mean, watch the F out. I think he's going to have the green light. And if teams play man because they have to cover four wide receivers,
It's over.
they're in a shitload of fucking trouble because you've got running backs coming out of the backfield. You've got tight ends running across the field. You got Zay going deep, OBJ going to the sideline, Bateman's cutting across.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing in that situation? And then Lamar just takes it up the middle because the running back is being covered by a linebacker. Like, that's what I envision anyway.
That's
And
what I
it hasn't
hope.
really come to fruition. I mean, that sounds incredible.
Oh, 100%. Like I heard there, but we're not going to have instances like we had last year where likely we'll go 8 for 86 and a touchdown, nothing for 3 games.
Yeah.
5 for 80 and touchdown. No, not going to have Josh Oliver's on the field. Greg Roman's like, oh, we'll run 2 tight ends. Yeah, you have Josh Oliver on the field to block. You're not running 2 tight ends. This year, we're going to have 2 tight ends running routes.
So what happens to your boy, Ross, Pat Ricard?
There's room for him.
He's gone. I cannot fathom how we just for some reason we just let it happen, and it was having 2 running backs in the backfield, a fucking fullback, 2 tight ends, and Lamar Jackson, and somehow we expected to move the football on the ground. Like, I don't understand, that's 6 dudes or whatever that can all there's no spread out the offense and you can run wherever the hell you want.
Not his fault that Greg Roman didn't know the fullback dive.
I agree with you.
That's fact.
I can't tell you how many freaking times you just run a stupid fullback dive. You need an inch. All right, let's run a toss. Huh?
Let's have Hill throw up the end zone.
300-pound running back that bowls people over like nothing.
Yeah,
it's freaking wild.
I don't.
Are we running QB draws with Mark Andrews?
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Stop it, Ross, right now.
Ross, I need you to stop.
I will say this. That offense was great for Huntley in the playoffs because you controlled the football at the defense. But with Lamar Jackson and his ability to make things happen when there's nothing available,
it was a disservice.
If you just spread the football field, there's no stopping the Ravens.
No, you're right. It was a good offense for Huntley in the playoffs. So let's at the 2-yard line run a QB sneak and not a fullback dive
or a Dobbins run. It wasn't 4th down, and he's having a huge playoff game.
Yeah,
we don't run the ball in the 4th quarter. Remember, we don't do that.
No, we don't. We just throw the football.
Let us hope, gentlemen, that we are looking at better days. Because that, oh my gosh, just reliving that in my memory, I feel like I've compartmentalized that whole season. Just put it behind me. It's like, no, we got new wide receivers. Lamar's resigned. We got a new offensive coordinator, new trainer. There's so much new. So much.
When you realize that this offense, I think, was still one of the highest scoring offenses in football last year. It was the first team in NFL history to have a 10-point lead in every game up to Thanksgiving or something. I don't forget what the number was. With an offense that was just running the football every fucking play because Bateman got hurt and the backup wide receivers were like, I can't even
Duplicate
name
got
them.
injured.
And I just saw them play last year. Like we lost our kick returner. We were just throwing the football to people I haven't even heard of. Crochet, like he's probably not even make the team this year. So
Yeah.
that's just mind blowing
Funny
to
enough,
me that they had
funny
that
enough, I
much
heard he's
success.
actually doing good too.
Yeah, he stepped up. He's wearing number 10 too, so he has.
He's like, hold
He's
on,
always
hold
been a
on,
camp
hold on.
guy,
I need to
though.
step
He's
up
always
there.
been a good camp guy.
Yeah.
It's true.
He's always
He'll blow
excited
up- he'll
in
blow up.
preseason. Then when the lights come
Very
on,
true.
He'll go for a $120 against the Redskins in preseason and then drop a fucking open touchdown pass against the Texans week 1.
What's our first preseason game? The Eagles? No, yeah.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
You probably won't see anybody play against the
Can't
Redskins in that
imagine.
game.
I
They're going to
can't
use the
imagine.
camp matchups and everything, and then they're going to see Huntley probably under center
Yeah.
and a whole lot of Melvin Gordon.
We don't
Yeah.
play our starters anymore.
Huh?
No,
We don't play
no,
our starters anymore.
No.
We still keep our win streak going.
That's why it's like with off season. It's like I think I realized it. Maybe was it the first off season back from COVID or the one before that? And I remember saying to myself, I was like, "What's the point in like going to preseason games half the time?" I mean, yeah, sure, it's great to see the young people. It's always great to get out there, but it's like if you're watching it for like the starters, you're wasting your time.
No, and honestly, I think the Ravens are so good and they're so deep. That's why they keep winning
Yeah.
playoff games. But it's also, I mean, preseason games. But it's mostly why they're so successful, like they were in 2020, being able to win all these football games because their backups are so good
Yeah.
that they can make the playoff when Lamar Jackson goes down and Bateman goes down and Dobbins goes down. And it's like, how the hell are they
There was
still
no
moving
reason we
forward?
should have been in that playoff based on all the injury. I still don't understand how we made it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing we're not really talking about is that goddamn defense is probably the
Yeah.
best in the AFC, maybe the
Let's talk
NFL.
about it.
And you're talking Patrick Queen is locked up, ready to roll. Not up, but he's balled in. The Ravens didn't trade him,
Yeah.
which means he's just going to be able to run around like a lunatic all season with our boy Roquan. And then Williams is healthy, hopefully the whole season because he got hurt last year. Do you remember he broke his arm or whatever it was
Kyle
against the Bills?
Hamilton's going to get a full year as a starter.
Kyle Hamilton, baby.
Can't
Like,
forget
there's so much to like about. I know Jabo's coming back full season. Like
Marlon's
this
back with
defense.
Rock Ya-Sin.
Yes,
He's here.
this defense is
It's
going to be
stacked.
filthy. Like to
It's
me,
fucking
we don't need to
nasty.
score 30 points anymore. The
Nah,
fact that we have that defense and this offense, and we still have Justin Tucker. I mean, I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid, but it's hard to fathom how they're going to lose a lot of football games.
Yeah.
I'm calling Patrick Quinn is the anti J.K. Dobbins. He's doing the exact opposite.
Yep.
He's saying all the right things. This is why I will not be surprised if he gets re-signed by the Ravens at some point. Despite how you can't pay to Ravens aren't a conventional team.
Yeah, you're right.
He's basically like, hey, I get to play in the National Football League.
That's exciting. That's awesome. Why? You know, it's like,
They didn't pick up my option. Oh well, I'm still gonna hear.
Still
Dobbins
bumming.
other than like, I want to get paid. You didn't have an option.
Yeah.
I think he also realizes that if he rolls the dice and stays healthy all year, he's going to put up stupid numbers next to
Oh, yeah.
Roquan. It's the Ray Lewis effect. That's why Ed Hartwell got paid and Bart Scott got paid. And they all got paid because of Ray Lewis. Same thing with Roquan Smith, and I think he will end up getting. He won't get a Roquan deal, but I think he'll get a decent deal with like
He's
the
gonna get
Raiders or
enough.
something. The Ravens. I don't know if the Ravens will pay him or not because they got to pay Lamar Jackson $30 million this year, but you never know. Like you said, Ross. I mean, the Ravens, I think he's giving himself the best chance to get paid by someone if it ain't the Ravens.
You know what I love about it? He's betting on himself. He's betting on himself. He's doing essentially what Lamar did. You know, he's like, hey, listen, I'm either gonna get traded or I'm gonna get signed, or I'm gonna get, be a free agent, and I'm gonna eventually need a deal. So again, why not play the best football of your life this season, possibly win a championship, and then see where it goes. Either way, if you do good, you get paid.
And I think if he
Jordan
does get
mentioned him.
hurt, no, let's go, Ross.
I
Sorry.
said Jordan mentioned him. They said on the right, if he does go off and get paid somewhere else, he's just going to go along in the many line of middle linebackers that have gone off. Now, they pointed out not all of them have gone off to prove to be Batman. A lot of them are Robins still.
They're all Robin.
The only one they kind of gave a little credit to was C.J. Mosley.
Yeah.
He
but
he was
CJ
not
didn't
as much when he. But yeah, like I said, they usually are Robins when they leave because they had a Batman they were next to. Our new Batman is Roquan. It used to be Ray.
Batman Beyond. going to be great. No, I am very, very excited for this defense. I mean, oh God, it's the perfect scenario. It's the perfect recipe for a great season. Both sides of the ball. Fingers crossed. Still have a few preseason games to get through, but again, things are looking up, I think, for the Ravens. Want to give a game ball out unconventionally to a whole team because the other side of Ravens walk is Camden Yards. The Baltimore Orioles have been going off. Holy shit, man! Probably the best O's team I've in my personal memory. I can't just so much excitement. Somehow still not filling the stadium, but again, I've been to a few games where they've been decently filled more than they were at least in years past. Man, 67-42 record, and that's as of today. They just got a win today as well. First in the American League, and the only team in the entire league with a better score, with a better record than them is the Braves. Are we back in the 90s and 80s again? Like, what's happening now?
It's amazing. They went out and they dealt for Jack Flaherty, which I think some fans weren't too happy they didn't get like a bigger fish when they went fishing. But Jack Flaherty had 8 strikeouts today, 6 innings, 1 run given up. Like, I'll take that all damn day.
All day.
That's what we're gonna get from him the rest of the year. I mean, that's exactly what you want from a starting pitcher on the trade deadline. And then they hustle, they go fast, they play hard. I think you're going to see the seats filled down the stretch. I think it's still 110 degrees outside every day.
It's very hot.
And it's just hot. Like, I think in September, when we're playing the Astros and the Rays down the stretch in these huge games, and we're in a pennant chase, I think you're going to see it and then forget about it when the playoffs come. Like,
pack the
it's going to be wild.
Oh, my God.
So do not be surprised now that the trade deadline has passed that some of those people that everyone's been begging, why aren't they caught up, are going to start showing up and taking these infield spots from someone like Jorge Mateo, who I don't know why he still is playing. I don't know what he has on Brandon Hyde.
Pictures.
I'm watching the game last night. We're at the 6th inning. We don't give up a hit. We give up 3 runs. He's one of the reasons. Westberg, I don't know why. Do not be surprised if coming up soon we have an infield third to first of Gunnar, Ortiz, Westberg, and Mountcastle.
Yeah. No,
it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think Frazier isn't hitting his weight.
There's no reason Ortiz needs to be down there anymore. He's like I read somewhere. He clearly was too good to be traded, I guess, but he also is too good for AAA. So what are we doing with him? And like I said, why is Mateo still playing?
A liability at best.
He does not get the game ball. Everyone else does.
No, everybody
You're out.
Trust me, we loved Mateo last year when he was doing what he was doing. We love him.
His April was incredible, by the way.
His
April was the big reason why we were so good early.
He hasn't had a home run since April.
Nah.
He doesn't. People were talking about him. Oh, he's going to lead the league in steals this year. He's 2 weeks in.
He was the best player in baseball through Easter, like, bar none. Like, the complete package. And then it was like he became a pumpkin. It was like unbelievable. I've never seen anybody fall clip that.
Gunnar did the exact opposite. Everyone's like, "Yeah, send Gunnar down." What is like, no, let's calm down. And we probably should be looking at the AL Rookie of the Year, but somehow they're gonna screw us again by some guy from somewhere else will get some more votes because they don't like Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, all I heard from Sunday Night Baseball was they were like, the Walls while they're winning. We go on the road and win. Hey, Gunnar, you bought number 2 for Jeter, right? You did Jeter, right? I didn't hear it. That's all I was hearing people saying. They were so egging him on, but they still hate us, and I love it.
That's fine. Baltimore's always been hated. That's literally it.
They also had Buster only bring up the stupid 35 debate again. Why it wasn't retired by Messina. Orioles have a set of rules. You go in the Hall of Fame with an O on your hat, you get your number retired. Guess what? He chose to go without a logo. It's fine.
I'll play devil's advocate and say Eddie Murray retired with not the Orioles.
But what did he go in the Hall of Fame with on his hat?
Oh, the Orioles. Yeah.
I think that's the key. Messina
You know
went
we're
in with
home.
nothing because I think that was the key for that. And
That's-
also,
That's why his
did
beard.
Buster only forget that the 35 was worn by someone other than Adley between him and Messina?
Look at Brad Brock.
Brad Brock, a Brad Bergeson player. I mean, but
Son of a.
People are gonna bitch, man. People are gonna bitch. They're gonna find something to hold on to and complain about. That's just it. But again, the Orioles, I can't say enough about them. I mean, just absolute amazing gameplay. I mean, again, you all remember one of the, if not the worst record. I mean, those first round picks have paid off. I mean, those dark seasons have paid off. You know, a lot of first round picks, a beautiful farming system, having guys come through. I can't say enough. And we'll have to keep covering them as we are now back for football season, because it seems like they're going to be playing hopefully deep into October. So we will keep coverage on that as well. Any last thoughts, guys, before we get out of here?
I am super looking forward to seeing who becomes left tackle. And the only concern I have with the Ravens ultimately is cornerback depth. I think they have one superstar in Marlin,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they have a decent number two. And I think there's a bunch of guys that are really, really like AAA type players when it comes to cornerback behind them. And so that's the one concern I have is if Marlon goes down, what are the Ravens going to do? I think
Yeah.
we'll see what they do. They chose to go wide receiver, overtaking Joey Porter Jr. And so that's the big one. Like, is that going to call? We'll see what happens there. Injuries happen to every NFL team. Happens to the Ravens more than most. I feel like. But that's my big concern. Other than that, I'm super pumped for the Ravens.
Yeah. Ross?
well, Jared, I'm assuming you meant left guard.
Yes, left guard. Yes. Yes.
But besides that, I was concerned when I heard that Rock went down knee. I was like, no, not again. Don't.
No.
He's fine. Wasn't structural. But from what I heard, J.R. Davis was kind of stepping it up the past couple days and being a lot of run outside. So that could be our number 3, and hopefully those two can start turning around.
Yeah.
Also, I'm getting really annoyed with all these things of look how good George Pickens is when he's shoving off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Nope. Really excited for the season. Glad to be back on camera with my bros again for another season. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're here. We're back. I have not much else to say than I am just stoked football's back. Take care and stay tuned. And